Hey, this is Matt once again. Welcome back to another video. There's another paid request, this time from Jumpin' Galaxies. Thank you so much for that. And for those interested in requesting pretty much any type of videos or topics, reactions, randomness, whatever, feel free to send them either directly to my PayPal or join my Patreon. Both links are down below in the info box. And this was an interesting topic where this is what he says. Could you please give your thoughts on your favorite worlds within movies or video games? However you want to take the topic. Whether it be the that felt the most real, or had the best characters, were original, ones that you like to most live with, could. How do you see yourself living within that world, idealistically? And I had to think about that for a minute, because usually if it's like I think of a world that I want to live in, it would be more maybe sci-fi out of the blue, because I'm already in this world. Whether you go on the internet, you go out on your own 2 feet, you've seen anything, and it's out there to really impress, wow me, so to speak. So any type of sci-fi world, whether it be Star Trek, like if I'm on the Enterprise at the end of Star Trek 6, set your start to the right, straight on till morning. Like, what would it be like on the Enterprise and all the different strange new worlds that you would be able to visit, and what technology would be up to that point? Are movies still a thing? Wow, there'd be a whole library of movies you could watch for decades perhaps. And just what, in that term of Star Trek, what all would entail. Just being marveling at the technology. Same with the Fifth Element. Without the danger, but just marveling at the technology and what you can and can't do and what you're able to do. It'd just be great to live in that world, and just a sense of awe and wonder and discovery. What's the new thing that I don't know, find out that even within the movie hasn't been told. Like what all the technological aspects of Fifth Element or Star Trek that even to this day hasn't been brought up. I go, oh yeah, I never thought of that. Okay, that's how they do that. That's how they do this. That's, again, that discovery, and that, no pun intended was discovery, but that pun of, I mean, that, fuck Star Trek Discovery, fuck that show. STD, Star Trek Discovery is fucking bullshit. I'd rather be in this Star Trek. But yeah, Fifth Element, like, what were the technological advances? What were the stuff that made things better, easier to live in, to entail? Same with the future and Back to the Future Part 2. And that right there, I mean, just to be on a hoverboard. How would it feel like to be on a hoverboard? And to have like Jaws 19? What was 5? What was 7? What was 11? What was 13? And what other sequels have there been? And the way that, like, the future of Back to the Future Part 2 seems like a fun future to visit. With the weird clothes and the hoverboards and whatever technology there is. That, again, even the movie itself didn't showcase. Like, that's the stuff that would draw me in. I mean, I don't know how I would see myself living within the world, just, as long as the essentials are covered, then that's all that I would really be happy with. So that's the things that popped in my head as, the whole room got darker, of course, as soon as I said that. And, Star Trek 6, the hope of humanity actually growing up, which sadly will never be the case, but it's a nice ideal. Bit of idealism in the original Star Trek. And as a Back to the Future Part 2, it'd be cool to take a chance on a hoverboard and train on and see how that would feel. Be as close as flying as one could get. And the Fifth Element, the whole idea of flying cars and all sorts of other pieces of technology, what you can and can't do. Flossed in Paradise. You know, all the enjoyment and the fun you get out of that with these weird costumes and just, you know, and be able to live at Flossed in Paradise. I would handle Chris Tucker's voice to live in Flossed in Paradise and just enjoy all that jazz. Even Blade Runner, as depressed as that is, maybe not to live, but to visit. And again, the ideal circumstances where I don't get fucking shot and killed by an android or replicant, I should say, replicant. But that'd be just interesting, just to marvel at, because I always thought it was a great look. Same with Blade Runner 2049, just a great looking city. Just a really, it's like a future version of Tokyo, which that's, and if there's one place I would love to visit, it'd be, I mean, sadly not nowadays because of everything that's going on in the world, but again, if everything was ideal, it'd be either Australia or Tokyo to visit. But yeah, Blade Runner, just, you know, to marvel at the buildings, the technology, and that's the thing that I would just hone in on. The technology, what advancements technology happen to be. This is also that notion of, you know, we could be around for only 20 more years, 30 more years, we don't know for certain. And so there's that thing in my mind going, well, what happens 100 years from now? How will things be? 200 years from now? Because you go back 200 years and you see how different, just like technology-wise, visual-wise, superficial-wise, everything is compared to 200 years ago. It does seem like a brand new world. I mean, you go back 200 years, I mean, to 1821. I mean, think about that. From 1821 to 2021, they seem like, again, completely different worlds. So if that's the case, at 2221, how will things be? And that's why, for me, I'm always more interested in the future than the past. The past is important to learn from the past so you don't repeat the same fucking mistakes, which apparently a lot of these higher ups in the world don't fucking realize, and the government and all this other shit. Even the entertainment industry, they don't think about looking at the past, so you don't fucking repeat the good, don't repeat the bad, but you gotta learn about the bad so you know not to repeat the bad and what bad not to repeat. But apparently, again, entertainment and Hollywood and fucking government and everything don't fucking see that. Sorry, rant over on that. But that's why I'm more into the future. Like, in 1821, would you ever thought of the internet or any of this sort being the thing? The TV, what's next? In 200 years, what other thing that we can't even think of right now, but now it's a commonplace ideal? And that's why even a film like Blade Runner or that was what I would, quote, like to live within the most. I mean, the places that felt the most real, most of them feel real to me as long as the effects are well done. And a lot of the films I watch is pretty much like practical, whether it be, you know, Tremors, whether it be Leviathan, whether it be, I'm just looking at my shelf here, the Blob remake from 1980, like, they feel real enough to me. I mean, the best characters, that really goes into more like my favorite films. But I don't know about their world, but I mean, I just one I'll mention because it's a bit embarrassing, but fuck it. Big Trouble in Little China. Anytime that movie ends, and I don't know why exactly, I get sad. I know this sounds stupid. Every time that movie ends, I get sad. and I get like depressed because I'm having so much fun with those characters. I'm having so much fun in this world with mysticism and magic and Age Shin, Victor Wan's character, what he's showcasing Jack Burton, and the way Kurt Russell interacts with Dennis Dunn's character, and just the humor, the fun, crazy monsters, mysticism, what's going to happen next, the creativity. I'm having so much fun with the characters that I want to see more of that world. I know they've done comic books, but the comic books I read honestly were not that good. I forget what company released them. I think there's different kinds of comic books, but the ones I read, I didn't think they were that good, honestly. And they're not the same as a movie. And it's like, man, like if there's a movie I wish would have gotten a sequel, it would have been Big Trouble in Little China, because I just got into those characters and that world, and part of me wants to hang out with Jack Burton on the Pork Chop Express, and what crazy situation is going to come out of it next. So, I mean, those characters, just the way they interacted with each other. I mean, that also, I guess, goes into the first two Ninja Turtle films from 1991. Because as a kid, I'll be honest, as a kid, lived on a farm in the middle of nowhere. There wasn't much to do except watch VHS tapes. TV only had like 3 or 4 channels. It was the middle of nowhere because there wasn't really a lot of places to go. Again, so either watch those 3 or 4 channels or pop in a VHS tape. And as a kid, I would almost become friends with the turtles. So I guess, in a way, like I was a kid, like I wanted to just, they were also lovable and fun, and they worked well together, and wanted to become friends with them. As silly, as goofy, as sad as that sounds, but I was a kid. I was a lonely kid, and I can admit that. I can admit that because I've overcome that because, well, you didn't meet them in real life. The friendships I've made with Michael CP and Efri and Michael Keane and Fabio and John and all these other guys, that is friendship. The fact that you're able to become that close friends without having to meet each other, I think actually speaks more volumes. And with the way technology is, you pretty much have with being able to discuss either daily or weekly or monthly status. But back then, yeah, it's like, oh, I like to be, as a kid, I like to be in that world and train in the martial arts. Being a fan of Jean-Claude Van Damme and early Steven Seagal. So, if you're saying, the places that felt the character-wise and you like to live in the most, it'd be the first 2 Ninja Turtles movies as a kid. And being taught martial arts, being taught to handle myself, like Jean-Claude Van Damme, and interacting with the turtles and growing up with them, and their sense of brotherhood and banter and fun back and forth. And this sparks the nostalgia eruption in my brain and gives me like a little bit of a smile thinking of that. Sorry about the edit. It was one of those things I kept thinking about the topic, and it went on for like a minute. I'm like, shit, it's been a minute with no dialogue. I don't think people want to sit there and go, okay, you don't say something? Can you say something, motherfucker? Okay, so to wrap it up, I want to think of at least one more. Maybe that Zootopia. Only because at least it would be unique to just interact with all the characters in that. And I didn't kind of like wanted to be in the future something I've never done before. I also maybe it goes into like being a fan of Ninja Turtles. I just like seeing something unique and different. And if I want to be in the world, so to speak, I want to be something a bit more unique and different, and not the same thing I've seen over and over again throughout the years. Now I don't know if I would want to live there, but I mean to visit, it'd be interesting. Because I will say that did a nice bit of world building where like you have these little animals and the way they have these little elevators to themselves and how this world was with this animal, and again it'd be kind of like just to observe and go, hmm. I just like curiosity of just hmm, hmm. Just different off the beaten path, so to speak. What else would it be for a world? I didn't like it. I mentioned Big Trouble in China, the first two Ninja Turtles films. Stuff like Star Trek, Blade Runner, good Star Trek, The Future and Back to the Future Part 2, I think would be fun to be part of. What the hell else did I mention? Because I'm thinking like, I don't really want to be in the world of Rambo. I mean, I love the Rambo films, but nah, or what Clerks, you can be in the, you work a job, you're in the world of Clerks. So I'm just looking at things like, do I really want to be in the world of Alien and Aliens? Well, I love the films. I don't know if I want to be in the world of them. I mean, if you're saying like that, they did a nice job establishing the rundown environment, and you know, with the way the ships look and the weaponry, did a nice job world building, just like Zootopia did a nice job world building with this works for that animal and how they interact together. While you have that little mini city, when was that Judy ladies chasing someone, then they're in this like mini city because the animals are this big. Like that does a nice job of world building. And I don't know if world building is even the right term, but establishing what that world happens to be. Hmm. Yeah, I don't know what else. What else? Because like a lot of the ones I like are like action films, horror films, and usually things don't end up the best for people in them, or there's danger, and it's like I don't want to go to a world where there's a lot of danger. We already get enough of that in this world. But I mean, those are a couple options for now. Sorry if it's not the best video jumping galaxies. I apologize for that. But it was a question that it was hard to think. Like you also mentioned video games. I don't know what video games world-wise I'd be like felt the most real. The characters I because the games I play, as I'm trying to get my damn sock back on. The games I play is like horror games like Dead Space or Silent Hill. I would say game-wise they do a nice job establishing their motif. Like Silent Hill, especially Silent Hill 2 and 3, they do a nice job establishing the dark remnants of their worlds that are being creepy and atmospheric, and you're wondering what's around the corner next, and how the monsters, how everything is associated with each other. They do a nice job establishing in those games. But there's nothing that, again, felt the most real that I would want to live in. Like you mentioned, like for example, if someone said Pirates of the Caribbean, yeah, I would never want to live there. I would again the past. I would never want to live anywhere in the past. It had to be somewhere in the future. Like that's more enticing to me. But I know there are people that feel differently. Which hey, that's nothing wrong with that. So yeah, I'm just, flopping here, so I'll just end the video. But thanks for watching. Take care, and we'll take care. See you guys later. Bye-bye.